Hi, this is Mark Rogers, the owner of Path Sites, here to talk to you about the first step in preparing to have your website built or in building it yourself, however you're going to have it done. I've built several screen tutorials to simplify for people how to prepare for each step of getting the website built and doing it efficiently and quickly without it taking a ton of their time and being overwhelming. In everything that we're talking about in these screen tutorials, I'm considering an 8-page website with everything that I'm putting up here. 8-page website, that's 8 pages of content plus an about, contact, and privacy page on each site for a total of 11 pages, including these 3. So 8 pages will give you a great start, a great platform with a website. There are some offline businesses in particular that never need any more than 8 pages because too many can become distracting. There are others that are life passions for people that can become hundreds of pages that never turns into too much or old. It's just according to what type of site it is. But starting with these pages and this is going to give you a very good platform and a solid site to begin with. But there are things that have to be done by the person that owns the site because they're the only ones that can produce it, and that has to do mainly with content and what's going to be in it. So we're going to talk first of all about writing and downloading your content, starting with, of course, text, which is pretty simple. That's what you write for your websites. That's the articles or snippets that you write for each page. We're talking about these 8 pages right here. One of the first questions that comes up with a lot of people is, how long should my articles be? Well, your word count should be as necessary for clarity for the type of site that you have. If you're describing a product and you have a big picture of a product on your web page, 2 sentences may be all you need for that particular piece of your page. On the other hand, if you're writing a very informational website that requires a lot of instruction and product reviews and detail, then your word count would be dependent on the type of site. Informational articles to start with for a website like that would be articles in the 300 to 600 word range. You don't want to overdo it to start with. This is something that people really get caught up on and they really get obsessed over. And what you want to begin your website is to write reasonably sized articles that you can do in a few minutes and have reasonable clarity and descriptive elements of it that will give the reader what they're looking for. But that's dependent on the type of site that you have. Again, some pages may require 50 words, may have a lot of pictures and require 50 words that are nothing but just little descriptive snippets. Others may need 300 to 600 word articles or more, but a good start is 300 to 600 words for descriptive articles and things like that. Your larger article and word count are going to be helpful for search engines to both find and rank your site, but again, that shouldn't be put there just for that consideration. It's according to what kind of site you have, what you're going to be using it for, and how you're going to be promoting it. Keyword research is needed for effective SEO articles. In other words, if you're going to have a site that has a lot of information on it, a lot of articles that will go 300 to 600 words or longer, and they're going to be, you're really wanting to consider what you need to do for search engine ranking, then keyword research will be needed to be effective at that and to bring that type of advantage to your site. And the keyword research is talked about in another one of the screen tutorials. All of your written content, whatever you write, needs to be saved in TXT form. Don't save it in Word doc or Word docx. What happens when Word for Windows, people use it a lot, they save it and then they try to copy and paste it into an online form or a module, and what they don't see is that in the background of Word documents there is formatting that can cause a lot of problems. So save all your written content in TXT form to be able to simply copy and paste it into online documents and without any formatting problems. So In your text, your word count should be necessary for clarity, whatever's necessary for clarity. That's dependent on your type of site. For informational sites, lots of information, descriptions, instructions, start with 300 to 600 words in your articles. You can always add to those along the way as needed, but that will get your website going. Your larger article word count and your larger articles word count will be helpful for search engine ranking. In other words, the 1,000-word article may be very helpful if the keywords are placed correctly in it. May be very helpful for a search engine to rank that article and to gradually bring it up the page rank in Google. Keyword research is needed for effective SEO articles, which we discuss in another screen tutorial, and save all of that written content in TXT form. You're writing your articles in snippets for each of 8 pages. When you're putting your content together and you're writing, stick with one page at a time and keep that separate. Keep each page of text separate per your pages that are going to be on your website. These will be sorted into your content folders after you get them written. So just title and keep each one of your articles and all of your snippets together per the page that they're going to go on your website. For pictures and graphics, you need to get the Path Sites offering that I present to people is that under the pricing plans and for what I offer for each type of website is that I'll apply and insert up to 3 pictures and graphics per page in that offering. Of course, you can do more than that if you're building your own, but you'll need to, as you write your articles or your snippets, download the pictures and graphics that are going to be needed and put those together with each article based on where they're going to go on your website. So that's part of preparing for your site. Now, all of this is something that no matter what is required from the owner of the website, because whoever's building it, aside from that owner, does not have the knowledge of the content of that website that they would need to write it themselves or to do it themselves. So this is something that's going to be needed no matter what, and just so it doesn't become overwhelming, I've put an estimated time required on everything. People, what happens is people tell me a lot of times they want a website. I say, okay, well, I need 8 pages of content here that you'll need to write, and they look at me like I've lost my mind. Well, I don't have the knowledge to write this. This has to come from either the website owner or somebody that they outsource to write it that knows something about it, because we have to have this content. So just in review here, you write the text for each one of your pages. That's going to be later sorted into content folders. You're going to download or take your pictures and graphics. The estimated time required for this, if you're an expert, you can do this in a day. You can in a 1 day's working on this stuff steadily throughout a day, you can write everything you need here. You can download these. You can put them all together. Take you a day. If you want to relax a little bit, or particularly if more research is required, let's say you're not an expert, but you have some good knowledge of it, but you need some research done, that may stretch out into 3 days. What's really important, no matter what you're doing in any of this in any of this process, is to set yourself a time goal and absolutely stick to it. But the estimated time here is 1 to 3 days, based on what kind of content you have, how long your articles are, and how much of an expert you are in the field, and whether more research is going to be required. 1 to 3 days should get this all done and have it ready to present to me if I'm building your website, or to have it ready for yourself if you're going to put it up yourself. So in the first lesson here and tutorial, this is about writing and downloading your content and getting it ready to be sorted into the content folders. Estimated time, 1 to 3 days. If you get started on it, stay with it, set yourself a timeline, you'll find it won't take any time at all, and you'll be done before you know it, and you'll have your content ready to go. I'll see you in the next lesson.